Hello everybody and welcome back to Heart Breathings. We have gone full spooktacular. It is just Sunday afternoon and it's actually quite sunny outside, but I thought it would be fun to go ahead and turn on all my spooky lights. And what we're going to do today is I'm going to take you through a review of my Q3, which is July, August, and September of 2020 Kanban board, my goals, how everything went last quarter, as well as I will take you on the journey of resetting that Kanban board, setting my goals for Q4, and talk about what I'm going to do differently and what I've learned along the way. So if you've been looking forward to this review, just keep watching. So as a little bit of an update, if you're new to this channel or new to these reviews, I am author Sarra Cannon, and I have so much on my plate, like so many of you do, that I developed a system several years ago that I call the HB90 system. This is a 90-day quarterly, basically, system where I set 3 major goals at the beginning of each quarter. Then I break those goals down into projects that I know will help me achieve that goal. And then I break those projects down into bite-sized, achievable tasks so that I can take all of this like overwhelming stuff that feels like I have so many things I need to get done and really break it down into things that I can do in 30 minutes or in a single day so that I can build on positive momentum. This system also keeps me super laser focused on the things that are most important and the things that are going to move me toward my dream life. Before I started using this type of system for myself, I was often paralyzed with so many things on my plate, so many things on my to-do list that I didn't really know what to do. So when I had time to finally sit down and work, it was just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And I was distracted all the time. I was starting projects but never quite finishing them because I had too many other things to do, too many deadlines coming up. And it was kind of like I was always in panic mode. I still have a lot to do, a lot on my plate. I am writing. I have 2 YouTube channels. I have 2 kids at home, one of which is only a year old, and just a lot of things like so many of us do. But I am able to use this system every single quarter to move forward toward my dream life. And what I have seen happen in my own life in the 3 to 4 years since I first started using pieces of this system is just incredible. So I hope that by showing you what happens every quarter for me and doing these reviews, you can see just the power of really focusing in. You can't do everything all at once. You're never going to get everything on your to-do list done in the next week. But what you can do is take control of your time and really get serious about focusing in on the things that are going to move the needle for you in your career and in your dream life. So what we're going to do today is do that full review of Q3. I'll show you what I did differently and what worked and didn't. Then we'll reset the board for Q4. So let's go. So one of the main pieces of this HB90 system for me and why it works for me is that I am a very visual person. Out of sight, out of mind. But if I can put it right there in my face and I can see exactly what I need to focus on, it just creates some kind of magical focus in my world, and I'm able to say, okay, this is what's happening. Plus, when I can see what tasks have been completed, it starts to build positive momentum for me. So what you see here is a look at the end of Q3 for me. So you can see that I did not move everything down my board, but I'm just going to explain this board for those of you who are new. So this is sort of my own translation of a Kanban board. Kanban is a Japanese productivity method, and I am using it in a unique and different way from the way it is traditionally properly supposed to be used, but this is the way I like to use it. So I have the board broken into 6 different sections. So from left to right, you have 3 sections for goals 1, 2, and 3. I almost always set 3 goals, no more, no less, for each quarter. 1 is usually for writing. Goal number 2 is almost always for heart breathings and my courses and planners that have to go along with that. And then goal number 3 is the one that shifts a little bit more. So usually it's some kind of personal mental health type goal. So that's how it's arranged from left to right: goal 1, goal 2, and goal 3. Then it also is sectioned off into 3 parts from top to bottom. So the top part of the Kanban board is what I have to do. So this is basically my main to-do list. And it's not that I'm just randomly putting a bunch of sticky notes on here. There's an entire system for prioritizing, setting my goals, deciding what I can get done within the 90 days, and then breaking my projects down into tasks. So there is a system involved here, but I put everything that I have to do up on this top line. The middle line is what is currently in progress. For me, the way I use it is at the beginning of every week, usually on Sunday, I will move the tasks that I'm going to do for the week down to that middle section, which is kind of my doing section. Then the bottom section of the board is all the things that are already done. So that is a basic walkthrough of Kanban board Sarra Cannon method. So ultimately, every single quarter, what I aim to do is to actually move all of those sticky note tasks down to the done section, down to the bottom section. I personally have yet to completely clear my board, although I do have some subscribers that have been clearing their board entirely. So if that is you, you are amazing, you are awesome, and you should definitely be celebrating that. I still tend to overestimate what I can get done in 90 days, but the key is that even when I don't get every single thing done, I'm still achieving my goals. I'm still increasing my income, increasing my community, increasing my subscribers. So as long as those things are always moving forward, I really don't stress it if I don't finish every single thing on the board. So just a little note about what I did differently in Q3. I usually will start the quarter with every single thing that I want to accomplish in the entire quarter up on that to-do list section. But this time, because I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed as it was, I decided to only put the sticky notes that were for that specific month. So I basically took it 1 month at a time. So I started with the July sticky notes only. And once I had cleared a goal of everything I needed to do in July, then I would add the August sticky notes and so on. But here is a look at my finished Q3 Kanban board, and I'm going to take you through the goals and whether or not I achieved them. So let's take a look. So like I said, this is a view of the entire completed Kanban board. So I'm going to take you through what each of these goals were and how well I did. But it's so easy to tell just from looking at the completed board that actually I got a ton of things done. I really did get a lot done. And in terms of clearing the board, I came very close on goal number 3. I had one thing that I didn't get done, and then I didn't lose as much weight as I had hoped, but that's really not something I'm too worried about. Goals number 1 and 2, though, are more about my business. So let's go over what these were and kind of what I got done and where I fell behind. So you guys have seen these before, but I usually set my goals I always have 3 goals, and I usually set them in different kind of buckets. So bucket number 1 is my writing, 2 is for heart breathings, and 3 is more of a mental health and energy goal. So goal number 1 was to write, read, publish, and promote my original works in order to grow my community and my income too. So I had basically 5 checkpoints that I was trying to hit, and everything in this goal is centered around basically my writing and publishing career. In terms of income, I did not quite hit even my lowest income number. I came close, which was actually a little bit of a surprise, but it's obvious to me why this didn't happen. It's not like it's a mystery. I just didn't follow through on the income producing activities of Q3. So I didn't finish my book. I didn't get it published. I also didn't get my promotions going again. It's been almost 2 years since I've really run any ads or promotions on my books. So this is something that's really going to start ramping up coming up in Q4 and Q1 of 2021. So didn't quite hit it, but I came close to the low number. YouTube to 4,600. So I said 4,400, 4,600, or 5,000 because I like to give a good, better kind of best or wildest dreams number there. And I did come in at the middle number of 4,600. I got a little bit more than that. My Facebook fan group, my low number there was 3,200. And even if you go on and look, it actually does say 3,200, but I was at 3,180 or somewhere around there by the time I was doing my review. So not quite a win, but I kind of want to call it a win anyway, because I did increase the group and the things I was doing was continuing to increase engagement, but I didn't quite hit the low end number. Instagram, however, I did hit my lower good number of 5,800 plus, and then my newsletter, I grew to over 13,100. So I'm hoping that I can continue to increase these numbers. My goal is going to shift just a little bit in Q4, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Goal number 2 is related to my Heart Breathing's career here on YouTube, my courses, and my planner. So that goal is to continue to create quality, heartfelt content on Heart Breathings in order to grow my community and income too. And again, number 1 was to grow YouTube to 35,000 was my kind of low end. But as you could see from the Kanban board, I didn't put up as many videos as I intended, and that suffered a consequence because I ended up at 34.6, and I think by the time I'm recording this, it's more like 34.7 thousand. So I came about 250 people shy of hitting this low end goal on YouTube. Again, I'm not super far from these numbers, but those are kind of my lower end numbers. I really hope that I can follow through on more videos coming up in this next quarter and get those numbers back up for YouTube. Either way though, for me, it's not always about hitting the exact number. The truth is, this is just a way to measure whether or not what I'm doing is making a difference. I did grow my channel by almost 3,000 subscribers. So that to me is still a win. I might be setting my sights a little bit too high, or maybe I need to be getting those more videos done. But instead of dwelling on whether I hit this number or not, I'm really focusing on, did my channel grow? Yes, it did. So for me, that's a win. And I choose not to obsess over whether these numbers are hit. It's just, I use these numbers as a way to point myself in the right direction and to measure whether my activities are working or not. So the next milestone was to have a certain course income for the quarter. So I had a complete launch of Publish and Thrive, my publishing course, and then I also ran the HB90 bootcamp. And I'm happy to say that I just came like $2,000 short of my highest end goal, like wildest dreams goal for this course income. So I'm super excited. Thank you to everybody who signed up for those courses. It has just been such a blessing in my life, and I really enjoy doing it. So that was a huge win for me. And then also my Etsy income hit the wildest dreams number 1, like good, better, best. It hit the best income number there. So I'm so excited that you guys are using the planner. There are some changes coming up for 2021, and I can't wait to release those planners and show you kind of what's changing. A lot of it is staying the same, but little tweaks here and there. You'll see on my board that one of the main things that didn't get done for the quarter for HB90 planner is that I was planning to outsource it and get more versions, more sizes, and I wanted to have a printed version. But with everything going on with overseas shipping and different types of, people not working in their offices and everything else, it just hasn't come together fully. So maybe a dream for 2022, and we'll just have to kind of wait and see. For goal number 3, my focus is to live in the spirit of my ideal life now by raising my daily energy score to a 6, 7, or 8 on average through routines and actions that focus on better health and joy. And I just made a little caveat here that I will track this by using a daily energy score determined by a scale I will create at the beginning of this quarter. So let me show you real quick how I was getting this energy score. I do have a highlight over on Instagram where I talk about this, but I'm going to briefly walk you through this energy score because I'm going to be using this again on an ideal life score for Q4. Okay, so I am tracking my energy score, and I'm doing something similar, like I said, for Q4 inside a Google spreadsheet, basically. So I've set it up with the dates all the way over here. According to month, you can see this is a dark gray, a lighter gray, and then an even lighter gray. So I've got the 3 months here. And then I have underneath energy score, I have the weeks sectioned off as well. So I've got week 1 of the quarter, week 2, week 3, and so on. And they're all a different color just for visual cues. I also have my goal here to live in the spirit of my ideal life now and everything I just read to you. But basically the way that I am giving myself an energy score is that I'm awarded myself 1 energy point for each of the following activities I do per day. So exercising 8,000 steps, completing my evening routine, doing at least 10 minutes of meditation, writing, which can be my actual book writing or even morning pages, some kind of journaling, gaming or other relaxing me time, which is so important for my mental health, fun quality time with the kids, which is 1 hour, no electronics, no screens, healthy eating, no sugar or flour, clean and tidy up my space for the day, reading. It could be something for pleasure, could be something spiritual, or shifted my energy to something better, which is basically if I get into a bad mood or something brings me down or I get a bad review or a bad comment on YouTube, I'm able to shift my energy to something better instead of letting myself sort of spiral into a negative thought pattern. So there are 10 things, 10 actions that I can take to get a point for the day. Then I also award myself a bonus point any day that I attended therapy because I just feel like I need to give myself a little extra for that. So then every day I would just count up how many of these things I successfully did and give myself a score 1 to 10. And technically I could earn 11 points on therapy days, but I don't think I had any days this quarter where I actually did everything because it's just a lot of things. But this, I know that each one of these items is going to move me closer to the type of life I want to have and to feeling the way that I want to feel. Because I realized in Q2, if you go back and look at that video, that the more energy I had or the more I paid attention to my energy and mental health, the more productive I was. So I decided over the course of Q3 to focus on an energy point, basically doing activities that would give me better energy. I'll show you in a minute how I'm switching this up for Q4, but basically I would award myself a point, and then over here in the spreadsheet, it gives me an average for the week. So you can see the average at the beginning was only a 6. By week 3, I had moved it up to an 8. I had another down week in week 5 and so on. But basically my goal was to make sure that I had at least a 6, a 7, or an 8 on average. And here you can see month 1, I had a 7 on average. Month 2 was a 7 on average, but month 3 was an 8 on average. So my total average energy score for the quarter was a 7. I also have set up an energy score template. I shared this with my HB90 students, and I've decided to also share it with you here on this channel. All you have to do, it's already set up and ready to go for Q4. So all you have to do is come in and change how you want it to be. You can change the goal here, change what you get points for. And then as long as you don't change any of these formulas, it should auto-fill for you. So as you begin filling out your daily score, so you can use this really for anything. You can use it for energy score. You can use it for, like, I'm going to use it for an ideal life score. You could also use it for like a writing score, and you can give yourself points for how many words you wrote, but there's a lot of ways you can use it. All you have to do is make a copy and copy it to your own drive. If you try to edit this, it's not going to let you edit it because then you'd be editing the main like master copy. But as long as you make a copy of it, you will be able to edit the copy for yourself. So if you're looking for this, you can find the link to it down below.
I want to be daring, baby, dance the night away. I let my head down if I want. Don't you just get tired chasing fame and being pretty all the time? Doesn't sound like fun. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like.
So that is basically how Q3 went. I'm really proud of myself, but the main disappointment for me is just that I still did not finish a book. I am determined to change that in Q4, but one of the things I love about this type of system is that I do get a fresh start, and it doesn't matter how many times I mess up or fall short. I have fresh momentum, and I am capable of doing something better in Q4. But in order to get better each quarter, one of the main things that you have to do, and this is imperative, is a full review. So in my goals planner and in my quarterly planner, I have a full quarterly review. And this is basically a 4-page review that talks through what worked this quarter, what didn't, where did you waste time, what do you need to do more of, how did you feel over the course of the quarter. It's a pretty detailed review. So when I filled this out for Q3, I really started to realize that it's not just that the writing isn't getting done, the writing isn't getting done. It's that I haven't created enough white space, is what I would call it. I haven't created enough time in my schedule to just daydream about my stories. And so I'm expecting myself to just sit down from 9 to 10 a.m. every morning and just, be creative. But instead, what I really need to be doing is nurturing the creative process, getting back to the joy of it, but also getting into the creative habit for myself. So that allowed me to set some new goals, to set up some projects that are going to help me do that, to set up more accountability and that sort of thing, because accountability is one of the main things that pushes me to write when I know that other people are counting on me. So that has definitely influenced some of my Q4 goals. So I'm going to walk through those Q4 goals with you now and talk about what's a little bit different. Okay, so let's talk about Q4 goals. I have them all set up in my goals planner. So goal number 1 is very similar to last quarter, and I am keeping the same 3 designations. So I've still got writing, heart breathings, and mental health and ideal life type stuff, but the wording has changed a little bit on this first goal. So it says, to cultivate habits and build momentum in my writing career in order to grow my community and my income. So instead of focusing on publishing, writing, blah, 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 this time I have changed the wording for myself to cultivate habits and build momentum, which is a little bit of a change in the types of projects that I am taking on for the quarter, which go around trying to get back in the habit of writing, get back into the momentum of my publishing and promotions and things like that. Some of the goals here, though, in terms of the milestones are similar. So again, I have an income goal. I have a YouTube sub goal. And again, this is for my Sarra Cannon channel. If you want to come follow me over there, I am reading my books live Monday, Wednesday, and then on Fridays, we have a coffee chat where I basically answer questions. So I talk about my books and I talk about my life and about writing. So come join us over there if you'd like. The Coven is my Facebook fan group. So I have a goal there to at least increase about 200 people. I want to get my Instagram up to 6,000, 7,000, or 8,000. So I'm at 5,800 right now. So it shouldn't take me, hopefully, the whole quarter to get to 6, but I wanted to set that low. And then my newsletter at least to 13.5 and so on. So these are my goals for the writing. And I have decided this quarter to do something a little bit different. So instead of having all one color for the entire goal, I have actually decided to use the same colors that I'm using in my color coding system. So this color coding system has come about as part of my energy score from last quarter of trying to track my time and see where my time is actually going. So part of that system has included using these color-coded dots to determine and mark how my days are going. If you guys want to see a complete update on my time tracking system, I would love to do that for you because it's been working really well. I just need to continue to get more consistent. So I think this quarter it's going to really solidify. Some of these are actually changing. So yellow is no longer family, fun, and me time. It's more of like my morning routines and my online marketing manager work and stuff like that. So I need to remake the key, but I did use these colors. So when I'm writing, and my writing goals are the darker purple, whereas my non-writing tasks, which are things like my YouTube videos and my admin stuff and promotions, go in this lighter color purple. Now, some of you will say, Sarah, I hope you're not using non-Post-it notes because Post-it does not make beautiful purple Post-its in these small sizes. However, what I will tell you is that I just took a normal regular size Post-it pad because they do make those in the purple colors, and I cut them. And I said I wasn't going to do it, but I did it because I really wanted these colors, and it wasn't so bad. I was afraid that cutting them would take a long time, and it just didn't. So now I have created my own small Post-it notes, and yeah, it may be a little bit over the top, but that's what we've done here. So I have a lot of things that I'm trying to accomplish. I want to finish writing Fate's Surrender. I have a Sarah's Spooktacular Halloween party event coming up in my Coven and in my YouTube channel. I want to write The Witch's Door. I want to plot Vengeful Darkness, and I want to do other little things like finishing a wiki, getting some promotions going, and even getting some new swag. So that's mostly what I'm focusing on for goal number 1. So goal number 2 is to create quality, heartfelt content. Same exact goal that I had last quarter. It's just the numbers have changed. My ideal pie in the sky number for the end of Q4 would be to end with 40,000 subscribers. That's going to be almost a little over 5,000 subscribers gained in the quarter. So I don't know if I can do it, but help me get there by sharing the channel. If you enjoy these videos, please make sure that you subscribe and share them with friends, because I would love to hit that 40K by the end of the year. I want another goal for course income and Etsy income. I really want to work on getting my Instagram up to 7,000. I would love to hit that 10,000 so I can have the swipe up feature on Instagram, but that I think is going to take a while. I also am hoping to hit 10,000 on my newsletter by the end of the year. So I'm kind of focusing in on these activities, and we'll see kind of where it all takes us. But I will say that while I have these big goals for Q4 for goal number 2, that I really am mostly hoping I can focus on the writing, which is why I'm focusing my videos this quarter on Preptober and writing and NaNoWriMo. Goal number 2, you can see, has 3 different colors. And so I use Heart Breathing's YouTube is the darker pink. So everything that has to do with my YouTube channel goes there. The green color is my courses and my planner. So that is all here as well. And then the lighter pink is my more administrative tasks and group activities. So virtual writing retreat in my sprint group, creating an Amazon favorites page, creating some different opt-ins for my newsletter, all of that goes in light pink. Then goal number 3 is a little bit different than last quarter. So it's to streamline processes, build healthy routines, and make progress toward my dream life by achieving an average ideal life score of 8, 9, or 10. And I get 1 point per day for each of the following activities. Exercise has to be at 8,000 steps, healthy meals, reading, writing, time tracking, which is a habit that I want to, like a healthy routine I want to get into, quality family time, which is always super important because I tend to work really hard and I want to make sure I get in that family time because your kids are only young once, and then journaling or morning pages, which I've really been doing a good job with. Gaming and chill time. Somebody said, oh, I love that you include gaming on your habit tracker, but this is so important not only to my marriage, we are both gamers and this is how we spend most of our quality time together, but it's just also good for my mental health, because otherwise I either get trapped in social media or I end up working late into the night on things that I'm behind on, like, oh, let me get this video done, or let me write another 1,000 words. And when I don't take any time off, I burn out. So the gaming and chill time at night is super important. So I get a point for doing that. Then I also get a point for 60 ounces or more of water. And I hope to actually increase this to 70, but for now I'm keeping it realistic. And then energy shift. Then I am going to have some reward bonuses. So if I track all of these, or I have a bunch of 10s in a row, I'm going to set aside some rewards. I haven't fully decided on this, but I think when I set up my Health Bujo, I'm going to make some decisions on what those rewards will be. But those are my 3 goals for the quarter, and I'm going to finish making these sticky notes and I'm going to get them up on the board. For goal number 3, I am using 2 colors here. So I'm using this blue color. So this blue is another one of the full-size pads that I cut down because my board is too small and I have too many tasks. I like to go really granular with my tasks to put up the full size Post-it. So to show you a comparison, this is a full Post-it pad. So this is the typical 3x3 that you're used to seeing. And what I've done is cut them down to the 1.5x2 size. So I basically just measured it out and cut them myself. So don't worry, I didn't waste all the rest of this. I actually have the other pieces here that I'm going to be using in other ways because they kind of make their own page flags. So I'm repurposing, but I am going to be doing it this way. So all of the blue is planning stuff. So this is setting up my Health Bujo, planning my Q4, time tracker, and tracking all of my time. It also includes planning for Q1 of next year, which you always need to add that into your plan because you need time obviously to plan for Q1. And I always like to spend kind of the last part of the year, but this year is going to be different because the first of the year starts so late in the week that really that last, like the very first week of the technical quarter is going to be that week of New Year's. And so it's going to be a little bit different on the calendar, but in yellow, I'm tracking basically anything that is supposed to be for my mental health, for getting ahead, getting our family in the place we want to be, which I would call all of these kind of like ideal life activities. So I'm going to finish making these and then I'm going to put everything up on the board.
I want to be daring, baby, dance the night away. I let my head down if I want. do better. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better. I dare you to be wilder.
Okay, so that is the reset of my entire Q4 Kanban board, but there is something else that I'm doing that's a little bit different this quarter, and that is utilizing over here behind me on this other side. You can see just the corner of it here. I have a huge, like ridiculously big bulletin board that my dad made for me years ago that I really have not been utilizing since we moved into this house. So I decided to pull out some old stuff, reset that board, and let me show you how I'm going to use it to help support my goals this quarter. Okay, so here is a full look at the bulletin board that I have, and basically I found these laminated 12-month calendars from Erin Condren that I got years ago. I don't think they offer these anymore, but you could use any kind of laminated calendar, and I used it to write in wet erase marker basically my entire schedule for Q4. So it's wet erase, so I can change it as needed, but I have basically all the main videos and all of the basic things that I want to accomplish scheduled out here on these 3 calendars. Then also here to the left, I have my brand new Sarra Cannon logo, which I'm going to be revealing officially. And then I have my 90-day plan. This is part of my quarterly HB90 system, but I basically write the milestones that I want to achieve for each of my goals so that I know by the end of October here, these are the things that all should be done in goal 1, 2, and 3. So these are all my projects that should be completed. And then for November, these are all the projects that should be done by then. And then the same for December. So I can just take a black marker and mark those off as I go throughout the quarter. Then at the top, I have this sectioned off for all 12 months. And I've just got it sectioned with some white washi tape. And then what I did was I went through all my book covers and I created just these little laminated posters of the book covers, and I am going to put these on the board there in the corresponding month for any months that I have special deals, any book releases, any types of special promo going on, and all of these white ones here are just the book covers that haven't been revealed. So those I can't show you yet, but I'm going to put those all up on the calendar so that I can see exactly when things are going to happen and I can move those around. So I'm hoping this board is really going to help support my goals this quarter. All right, so there you have it. That is a full detailed view of my Q3 success and failures, except I really don't like to use the word failure because failure is only when it's final. And I know that that is not the end of my story. Every single time I fail to do something or fall short of my own expectations of myself, it's an opportunity to learn, to get better, and to use what I've learned to move forward in a better way. And so I always call that a win. You either got the result you were hoping for or you learned more about how to do it better. So it's always a process. I'm excited for Q4. I have already, as you can see, started moving things down the board. The dark purple stickies, though, are my writing stickies. So hopefully in my Instagram stories, if you want to come follow me, I am going to be moving those stickies down like crazy over the next couple of weeks. I do Monday through Friday daily Instagram stories over at Heart Breathing's blog. So all you have to do is click on my profile picture and every morning it will show you those daily stories. And I often will go over how my Kanban board is going, how my goals are going, where I'm spending my time, what I'm working on. And hopefully that will help provide you a little bit of motivation to get your work done as well. So if you're interested in that, please come and follow me over there. And that's it for today, you guys. We will be continuing on with all the Preptober videos coming up. If you are not on my mailing list, I would love to have you over there. And if you're interested in that HB90 planner or learning more about the HB90 system, then you can grab that planner over on Etsy. I have it linked down below for you. A new goals planner for 2021 is coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.